We're back with another episode of Let's Play Shining Force 2. I'm your host, Nick Legato. And as you can see, we're in the battle with our first Greater Devil, who apparently looks pretty normal to me. He just has some green skin and a few devil horns, nothing too intimidating. At least not in my opinion. Oh boy. As you can see, we've got our work cut out for us. We've got harpy queens everywhere, which are never good. We've got knights, dark knights, and wizards I'm not too worried about at this point. If we get close enough, they'll melee attack us into the ground. So I'm not too concerned about that. What I am concerned about is Zalbard. Zalbard is a great reason to be concerned. That gargoyle is a reason to never be concerned. Yeah, there is a gargoyle in this battle that has no explanation for why it's there. Maybe it's for the characters who are maybe lower level to pick off. I don't see its use. We'll leave that for somebody else to pick off. There's no point in wasting it right now. Okay, so we're having Gurgle attack here. I counter moderate damage. Nothing we can't handle. Nothing we can't cure. But remember, we don't have Karna. We passed up on Karna and took a different... and took Tyrann instead, so we don't have a lot of healing power. So we do want to be as... What's the word I'm looking for? We want to be... Bowie kill him. We want to be as stingy with Sarah's healing as we possible. Now, it may not be always easy to do, but we want to try and be as... We want to save as much of her powerful healing as we can. Little healing here and there is not a big deal. It's when she starts when she starts having to cast Cure level 3 or heal over heal level 3. That's when we need to be concerned. Go. Boom. Let's see. Sarah's up, but she can't really reach anyone. Hoping that she can get a couple of punching and kicking or so. We got outslayed. Oh, man, are you serious? Who's up next? There we go. Yeah. You wanna play rough? Okay. Freeze level 3 out of kill him. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's not a character who's not weak to ice. 20 is the average, so. Now we've got Tyrann who can actually kill things pretty easily now. Let's get Jaw up about there. Slade needs to be healed, so that's just the way it is. Push that clown off, and though he'll probably get attacked by the Wyvern, him or either him or Elric, so we do want to be weary about that. Here comes trouble. Let's see. So we need to... Let's just use a level 3, a level 1 heal right now. We'll use a stronger one if we need to later. That should be enough to get Slade by until he does need a strong healing spell. Even though we're in reach of that freeze. No, we're not in reach of freeze level 2. Nice. see, what do we want? Oh yes, we're gonna finish him off. Yeah. And I figured this was gonna happen anyway. Only did 7 damage though to Elric. Or Rick. See, this is why Rick is probably a stronger centaur. 5273, 6473. Rick vastly gets huge defense bonuses that Chester just doesn't seem to get. Chester gets more HP, but not enough to warrant. Not this huge vast difference that makes him significantly better than Rick. Rick is, I believe, argued to be the best paladin, or the best Pegasus Knight. Because of his high defense, he's up there with Peter and can maneuver around the battlefield pretty much as well as Peter could. So I know that a lot of people really like Chester and seeing Chester as a Pegasus Knight, but I don't think that it's a big deal between the two, other than I personally like Rick better. And I think Rick is a better knight, substantially better knight. And you can see that as they level together, you'll see Rick kind of outshine Chester as he grows. Let's see. Just kind of like how Elric outshines May. Anyway, the Pegasus Knight class, I've not really seen any vast improvements from one character to the other. Now, what I mean is that when Elric levels, I don't see his stats much different from when he. What's the word I want to use? When I see when I see Rick as a Pegasus Knight, he seems to be at the same kind of growth that he would have been as a Paladin. The only major difference is that he's flying. That's the only thing that I see different between Rick flying and Rick on the ground. Is that his movement hasn't changed, his stat growth is about the same. So to me, as an onlooker, as just a person studying a little bit about what my characters are capable of doing when I switch them, it just seems that the only benefit of being a Pegasus Knight is your gift of flight. The gift of flight. This ability of flight, really. Your ability to fly all over the battle map. That's the only thing I kind of really see going on here. And it's not, in all honesty, it's not it's not impressive in an isolated contest of who's the better centaur. Flight is nice, but we can give it to either centaur, and as long as it doesn't affect their stat growth, I don't see any one surpassing the other. Oh, great. Fire level 3. As you can see, I'm trying to provoke a little bit out of these enemies on the right side, because this is the direction I want to go. But as you can see, they're trying to surround Gernholt instead of actually kill him, which is bad. So in Gernholt's next turn, we're going to have to move him back. And as usual, I don't think Sarah can really... Yeah, Sarah can reach that, so that's good. Damn phone calls. Look like I can pause in the middle of stuff. Usually when I know about it soon enough. Okay, let's see. So right now we're getting kind of hit pretty hard on the right side, so we're going to take care of that immediately. With some rageful summoning. Power! That ends that night. What do I want to do with Chester? Let's move Chester a little bit over here in case Slade gets attacked. Just because we're trying to keep him alive. Our best bet is to do that. Gospozo over here. Oh yeah, he's still poisoned too, isn't he? Speaking of Gospozo, here comes Gospozo now. Pretty much to attack Peter. And when we fight Greater Devils, it's not about killing every enemy on the screen, though that would be awesome if we did. It's really about killing the boss. It's really about killing the boss, because he's the one who's going to put the biggest hurt on us. And if anybody's good at wearing down an enemy, it's going to be Peter. So either the monk's going to heal Zalbard, or Zalbard is going to suffer for having bad minions. Okay, there's a level there. But what we want to do is pretty much just work him down as much as we can. Shazam! Let's see. Don't want to really move May within too much range of Zalbard, but the lower we get his health, the better, because it forces the Master Monk to work harder, and that's really what I'm aiming for. As you can see, all the enemies are now powering, what's the word I want to use, lumbering towards they're pretty much lumbering towards Zalbard here to prevent him from death. Try and keep some distance so that way we're not all crowded together, because that's just what Zalbard wants. And Bowie will have to sit back. Probably have him hang back with Slade. Yeah, we'll have him hang back with Slade. Maybe he's not out there back there by himself. We're gonna have Gernholt work on the Dark Knight. And we want Tyrion to get in on it because he's got that ranged frost freezing spell. But here's where trouble will commence. His 91 attack is just devastating to characters like May, and he's going to get another turn real soon. So let's go ahead and put up another strong heal here. Okay. But as usual, well, I don't want to move her, because if I move her, Zalbard will be able to get in, be able to penetrate the line. So let's keep him kind of stuck in there. He made the biggest error a boss could make, and that's to be away from his healer. Uh-oh, and I made the biggest mistake of assuming he wasn't going to use Bolt too. Quite the shocking experience, but as you can see, all of our guys wear it pretty well. 19 damage when you have 66 is just not that threatening. Let's go ahead and finish off this monk here, or at least prevent that monk from healing Zalbard. Now that he's in the way, it looks like though Peter is the attraction of violence, and he's also killing everything too. Jeez. Peter later. And as you can see, no matter really how I would have set the party up, he would have gotten to Zalbard to heal him for full hit, which is fine. You know, he's not threatening much anymore because the Master Monk is almost dead, and once the Master Monk is dead, you know, it's all downhill for him from there, because we got him kind of walled in, so he can't move forward here. He's surrounded by a very angry summoner who will finish off the Master Monk as designated. And then he'll start using his single shot spells like Dow level 2 on Zalbard, which will also, for Zalbard, be very devastating. And we're just going to keep the pressure on. Okay. And speaking of pressure, here comes a very nasty attack. As you can see, last time we wore it pretty well. I mean, yeah, some of our characters are getting weaker and weaker every time he does that, but we don't have aura to counter that spell, so all we can do is just beat him down as quickly as possible. Like I said, it's very much gonna happen. We're gonna lose some characters this battle. As you can see, we're about to lose 3 to 4 of them. Oh, I didn't use the spear. Oh well. I didn't use the lance anyway. Let's get Peter to back off here, since he can't reach him anyway. There's no point in putting him in the middle of the fray. And that's actually unnecessarily close, but if he goes after May, he'll hit him anyway. And Tyrion gets the kill. And actually, I don't think anybody died. That's rad. And it's one of the few times I've played this where Peter didn't die. Usually because I send Peter in as my provoker, because he's disposable. He's usually so overpowered, I like to think he's disposable. Finally defeated Zalbard. The holy power of its light. You don't say. Hey, look over there. Welcome. Ooh, baby. You must be her hotness, Matula. I can tell. Those breasts don't lie. I don't know. Full power. Even Volcanon would not be able to stop him. That sounds like the half of it. You don't say. Stays there long enough. So it appears that Bowie and all the people of Grand Seal were living in a place that was designed to be evil. You can't kill Xeon, but Volcanon and I will help you if you weaken him. We'll lead you to... Betula Oblongata! We'll find the storytellers first. So apparently, we cannot kill Xeon solely by ourselves, even though I don't believe that's really the case. I think we do it just fine. But really what they're saying is that... Ooh, a critical sword. What they're really trying to tell us is that we have to, in a sense... What is this noise? Yes. I feel a power returning me to human. Did you chase them away? So this is how you attain a sorceress by default. Now all of these default hidden class characters, such as you know, what was his name? Not that he was hidden, but Rode, who became the brass gunner. Taya, who's the sorceress, is really not the strongest sorcerer. Actually, she's the worst sorcerer, in my opinion. Though I think the first time I played this as a younger kid, I used Taya because I didn't know where the magic book was, the secret book was, and then I played through the game again and found the secret book. So, just one of those things, you know. Healing seed, yay! So here's the debacle: is what do we do with the power, the critical sword? I usually like giving it to Slade. Actually, of all things, I like giving it to Slade. The reason I like giving it to Slade is because right now Bowie's at 81, Slade's at about 81, but I'm going to give the power water to Bowie. And Slade's just going to be stronger through his weapon. But Bowie's going to be permanently stronger, period. And that's usually how I do it. And really it's because Bowie does deserve a power water to keep up with. He should be one of your strongest attackers. And look at that, he's actually even stronger now, and he's using an outdated sword. arguably, because the critical sword's obviously better. But that's me, personally. And like I said, I don't use Taya. Like I said, Taya is probably the worst of the sorcerers that you can use. These are the guys who are going to tell us everything going on. And Mighty Storm. You know, let's say... Wait a minute, where did this happen? It didn't say where he fell. Jewel of Light. The Jewel of Light chose a brave man and gave him a holy sword. So thus, Dark Soul and Dark Dragon were both Devil Kings. So Max fought two of the three Devil Kings at once. So there you go. Never opened the door to the tower. Great evil sleeps inside. Too bad we didn't know that before. So that's really all they had to tell us, which is kind of stuff we already kind of knew, you know, but they're really the ones who elaborate on a lot of that story about Ark Valley and the evil that exists there. Let's go ahead and give the healing seeds to someone that could use it. Let's give them to Peter, since Peter doesn't really have any defensive gear, because it has no way of recovering. We're going to deposit that mithril into our tank, into our caravan or whatever. I call it a tank. It's a tank. And then pretty much we've done everything that we can possibly do in Tristan. We defeated Zalbard. We made him our bitch. What is this? Oh yes! All the work we did in Beidou. If you remember, we saved that little child from falling off the cliff. So this is what we get in return. A scene of a bird flying around. No, just watch. Just watch. Boy of Grand Seal. Who are you? I'm Screech of Beidou. Apparently birdmen grow up very quickly. Screech the Bird Battler has joined the force. Now, Screech is actually not a bad character to have if you've been going through the game pretty haphazardly, you know, not really working on characters. Let's take a look at him. Well, let's look at Luke here. Well, we can't because he doesn't have a weapon equipped, but, you know. Where is Screech? There's Screech. 63 to 39 and 39. His movement is 6. And that's with what sword there? The Great Sword. Whereas our guys are using the Great Sword. And they're hitting in the 70s, but Chester's at 69. So, as an example, and that's with the spear. So 63, give him the critical sword, 68 maybe. But his defense leaves something to be desired, even to Luke. And Luke's only a level 1 bird battler. Screech is a level 11 bird battler. So, I mean, if you've been leveling the game moderately and just going through every battle, when you win every battle, you just keep kind of going. Screech is not a bad character. He's definitely better than Luke, and I will say that hands down. The only edge that Luke has over Screech is that you've had him longer, and so you've had more time to build levels on him. Whereas if you wait to levels at 20, if you level your characters at 20, he's probably not as good as he, I would say, could have been. Speaking of could have been, let's deposit the mithril. So, I mean, it's all left up to interpretation of how you want to define Screech's skill. If you chose not to use Luke and you continued your game pretty normally, just leveling, promoting at 12 and powering through the game, it's interesting because Screech is pretty strong compared to your other characters because they started slowing down. You cannot grind when you promote at level 20 as soon as you turn 20. You can't really grind like I got to in the battle at the you know, the foyer, the area right before God, I can't talk. The area right before where we fought Zalbard, you can't do any of that leveling there. You just can't. You eventually, enemies just start giving you 1 experience, and you're still not all that strong. So it's kind of discerning. It's something you don't want to really happen, because that's kind of where you get stuck. All right, so what was I doing? Chester needs to re-equip the Chrome Lance. And as you saw, we gave Slade the critical sword. I'm just astonished we still didn't have to. Nobody died in that battle against Zalbar. That's not a first for me, but it's pretty rare to see that happen. That's for sure. So let's see. Just make sure nobody's dead and nobody's poisoned. Okay. Go ahead and do that. I liked how they changed it from CG, they added more. And the light allows me to continue my adventure. Will I? Yes, I will. Didn't want that. Okay. So we've done all the stuff that we can kind of do here. Let's go ahead and talk to His Holiness. Yeah, well, you know, shit happens, you know. You don't say. Nazca, right? Bowie, let's go. Together. Thank you very much. Alright, well, now that we've got Freya in tow... Oops. I don't think he joined our party officially, though. I think that... Coming up here, you'll see what happens here. The castle of Vicar Freyja. So you remember me. What do you want? I have plans for you. I'm very happy that you... She probably sounds more like a angry dwarf. My faithful soldiers cannot enter Promechia. Now you must open it. It's a trap. Run. You've got to be kidding. Come on, that's really going to stop him. Pangoat Valley. Ooh. Interesting. For some reason they used the original monk in place of the master monk. I don't know why, but whatever. Okay, so one of the arguments is that maybe they're divided. The enemies are the devils are divided because of these various qualities. They're probably divided because Zalbard is dead, and though he was maybe the weakest of the greater devils, it is apparent that that does not matter. Of course, our troops are very strong, and they fear us. Now, standing on these patches of water will give us that defense bonus we want. Except for jackals like Peter. Our goal for this battle is to pretty much get everybody to level 13, which is very possible. So let's go and aim that direction. So let's see. Let's put you there. Because Rick is so good at taking damage, we can actually put him in the front. Oh yeah. And here come the enemy. Here comes the enemy. And that's a critical. Nice. We just wore that, didn't we? That's good enough. He'll be dead by the time it becomes a problem. We're under attack! Now you're gonna get it, Bobby. Here comes the orc. Okay, so on the next episode of Let's Play Shining Force 2, the battle at Pakalon. Wherever we are, Pakalon. The battle at Pakalon. Not going to be a tough battle, I think, for us. We'll probably do pretty well. We will probably also level up. So we'll see you after I do this mad summon of Dao level 2. Dao level 2. Booyah! It's in Gib. So we'll see you after the battle.